What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I'll start this video by saying anything can happen in crypto. And I think, honestly, when we think about investing, a lot of things can happen. And I think people only look at where things are now. And a lot of people won't see what's happening for the future, where things can go, all the things that can be implemented to make these dreams happen for people. And I think that's why there was a lot of people that had Bitcoin in the beginning that was like, you know what, I might as well get it, but then decided to off it when it was at, $10 or was at $400. And while that is an amazing gain and they were happy with that and they were happy with their gains, they look back on that as a failure. Because if they would have held that Bitcoin, what would they have had, right? If they would have held 10 Bitcoin, they would have had a crazy amount of money. They would have had 800 and what is it, $850,000 if they decided to hold on to that. There's a lot of people that don't make that within their lifetime, right? They can't find a way to put all of that together and make that much money in a full lifetime of theirs working. And seeing that, you have to understand that there's so many possibilities. There's so many things that can happen. And I think you have to realize that. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I see a lot of comments that come across, right? I don't get upset about them. I love to make videos about them because I like to kind of maybe change somebody's mind or mindset and how they think about cryptocurrency or investing. And most people, like I said, will think about what's in front of their face and never see past it. If you only do that, you will only go as far as what you see. You'll never go beyond. So make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be talking about Terra Luna Classic in this video. We're going to be mentioning Terra Luna Classic to $1 and why it was possible in the past and it still is possible now. It's just not as high of a probability of that to happen. So let's talk about this. If you could, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or follow me on Patreon at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. The links are down there in the description. And also, if you want to check out my link for BTCC, it's a great platform to where you can trade up to a 500x leverage if you want to. You can also have a 10% deposit bonus as well as up to $10,055 per user in extra bonuses, 40% lower trading fees. This has been around for a long period of time, so feel free to check it out down below. They just invested or implemented isolated leverage, which is always great, but you can also trade outright and you can demo trade. So it's a great platform. Feel free to check it out if you guys are interested. Now, if we look at the entire crypto market, it's at a $2.65 trillion market cap. Things have decreased a little bit. It's kind of flat. Seeing Bitcoin at 63% dominance is nowhere near altcoin season right now. So things are kind of boring. But I still get comments on a lot of my previous videos and even my current videos where it's like, this is the person talking about Jasmine Coin, or this is the person talking about XRP, or this one has so much potential. The same person that said Terra Luna Classic can get to $1. And you have to understand that if you only see what is in front of your face, you will only go that far. And honestly, those people are people that didn't even take that chance to even go that far. You could have gained a crazy amount from the lowest level up to where it got to, right? That's why I already have profit in my in my bank account, because I decided to take some of that money from Terra Luna Classic, still seeing the projection, still seeing the ability to grow a lot more, and seeing all of the different things that they could implement and things that could happen. Now, when I first talked about Terra Luna Classic, when I first talked about this position, let's go ahead and look up LUNC. When I first talked about Terra Luna Classic, it was at a higher level. It was at a it was at an $80 price point. About a, $40 billion market cap. And the reason why I talked about it was because someone mentioned to me that I should buy it. And I said, this is already at a very high market cap, a $40 billion market cap compared to where this altcoin season and bull market was. It just didn't make sense for me to buy it at that moment. I still believe in it a lot further, but it didn't make sense to buy it at that moment. And good thing I didn't, because it did collapse down in May and things fell all the way down to lower lows. Now, as I saw that, I didn't see the end of the world. I didn't see the end of that position altogether. I saw an opportunity, because the first thing that came to my mind was, how are they going to come back from this, right? It wasn't about, oh, it's collapsing. I understood all the reasons why it was collapsing. There was some hidden things behind the scenes, but the things that were in front of me, it was bold, it was in our face, so I didn't really have to worry about that. The questions that I did have was more on the upside. When is this going to start to skyrocket again? How low can this go? I saw it at a level of $1. I saw it at a level of, I think it was less than that. And then it ended up increasing back up to $2, which I made a decent amount of money from. But then it fell down hard again. Now, what I decided to do when it was at that low level, I decided to buy some more, right? Buy as much as I could. I only had $43 that was available in my account, and it got me 60 something, 63 million coins. For $43, which is phenomenal, meaning that I bought it at a 0.0000006 price, which the only website that has that captured at 6 zeros is CoinGecko, which got it down to a 0.0000009 price. But the lowest price that MetaMask showed was a 6 instead of a 9, which was great because I was able to buy it. Now, I thought it only had 5 zeros. I was going to buy it at that low level. I thought no matter what, this is a ridiculous low price. Now, my initial thought after that, after I bought the position, was where are they going to go from here? How are they going to jump up? How are they going to make these moves? Now, when I did that research, when I actually jumped into that information, I put out videos talking about how Terra Luna Classic could get back to $1. All they have to do is implement a burn, stop the minting. They stopped the minting. They implemented some sort of burns, or even the concept of burning. But then the community was all behind decreasing that supply, and seeing 100% of the community that was behind that, that was where you started to go, okay, this could be huge, right? It could be a massive increase because 100% of the community is behind burning. If you decide to buy in right now and they don't do a reverse split or something, you could essentially have $1 million from 1 million Terra Luna Classic that you own. So it was a no-brainer, right? Then you had the addition of more people, different developers and creators and DApps that decided to come back and look to create. And they were looking to not necessarily just decrease the supply. They were just looking to repeg by utility, right? They were just looking to see, with all the popularity that was on this chain, with billions of dollars that were going through this, they wanted to take advantage of that and just go based on utility rather than burning the overall supply. That kind of destroyed Terra Luna Classic, which split us up into two sides, where the loudest people were the people that were wrong, honestly, to say it's all about utility, and if you have utility, that's the reason why this is popular. No, the reason why it was popular was because people understood the mission was to decrease that supply, get it to a higher level, as we see those burns that are going through, and then we can all profit in the end, as well as being able to recover the chain. Kill two birds with one stone. However, that those voices over here got a lot stronger, saying it's all about utility. Utility will make it stronger. Then we started to implement a burn that was associated with it, and those voices came out and said, look, it's not about the burns. Let's take this burn away. You took the burn away. You started to focus on utility, and everything kind of went to shit, lack of a better term, right? Now we still have the ability to implement burns, and obviously someone like CZ and Binance believe that burning is the way to go. Decreasing that supply is the way to go. I believe that, many other people believe that, but you still have a large portion of the community that doesn't believe that burning is the way. Utility, burn by utility is the way. Well, if you don't have popularity, you're not going to have the burn by utility, right? If you don't have that burn by just standard practices, you're not going to see that flow a lot further. Now, we still have the ability to get to $1. So let's break that down. Now, depending on what we do, there's many options, many scenarios that could take us to that level or even beyond. I talked about a reverse split and how a reverse split could be big. Now, a reverse split would also decrease the amount of coins that you own, meaning that if you own 10 million, you would then have 100,000 if you decided to do a 100-to-1 split. But it would also bring the supply from a level of 5 trillion down to 5 billion, right? Because you're looking at, 50 billion. So then you would look at a a dollar and say this is a $50 billion market cap, that's reasonable. If you look at a dollar right now, it's a $5.4 trillion market cap for something that's not well established, right? So it's something that could change the dynamic and give us hope for a lot further future in the end, not only just a 50 billion, but a lot further than that, depending on the repeg and their, the repeg of USTC, as well as the establishment of the algorithm, re-enabling the algorithm. So those things could factor into that. We could also see a burn by exchanges. Those burn by exchanges could implement something bigger, meaning that we could see that supply decrease, also meaning that we don't have to decrease our supply that we own just by standard traction and transactions. You would see that fall off, right? The overall supply would fall off. If everybody was doing what Binance is doing, we would see a lot more that would come off the table. And it would also pick up in the FOMO because people would believe in it a lot more. So we need a lot of things to happen. We need FOMO, which will happen. It's just how long will the FOMO last, right? We need burning. That will happen. It's just, again, how much will we be able to burn by person, by exchange, by utility, by whatever, right? And then we also need to see the other side of it, right? We need to see the re-enabling of the algorithm, the repegging of USTC, and a plan for that side as well, the USTC side. So there's so many things that can happen. Getting to a dollar is not impossible, and I never will say that it is impossible. Many people will say that it is because they just don't believe in it. But I still have my 55 million. I don't even know how much it's 50 plus million coins because. One, I've already taken profit, right? I've already taken $4,800 worth of profit in the beginning stages of things. And now I'm sitting on, what, $3,000? I could take this and have $3,000 worth of profit again, but I understand that there's so much more room for growth and so many more things that are going to happen. Even if it doesn't get to a level of a dollar, a level of a penny is still on the board for a $50 billion market cap. A level of 2 to 3 cents could also be possible with more burns to decrease that supply, meaning it could be a $90 billion market cap for 3 cents if it gets down to 3 trillion coin supply. So I'm interested to see what happens, and you guys can all question it. You guys can be like, oh, this person talks about Terra Luna Classic to a dollar. I still believe that there is a possibility that those things can happen, right? It doesn't mean that it's a strong possibility. It means that it can happen. So all of these things led to where we are now, which I think if we stuck to the original plan of burning as much as we possibly can from everything that we are doing for Terra Luna Classic, it would be much bigger. And I think people like to compare this to say, why didn't you do the same thing with Shiba Inu? Burning as much Shiba Inu as you can to see this thrive. One, we thought the ecosystem dev team was going to do that. But two, Shiba Inu does not have a potential utility, doesn't have its own chain, and doesn't have a lot of people relying on it for what it can do and what people can build on it, right? For Terra Luna Classic, you're doing it for many reasons. You're doing it for the gains, and you're definitely doing it for the survival of the chain, and I can say the survival of utility. All of those things lead to a better future for the classic chain, not just our gains, right? If I make $500,000 from this and we see the ability to grow to $2, $3, $5, $10, seeing the repeg of USTC, the re-enabling of the algorithm, right? Restoring of the algorithm, restoring of the chain, that now leads to a bigger future for the overall chain. And I don't think people see that because they only see it as a meme coin, which it's not. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It just drives me a little crazy when people are just like, oh, this just can't happen. It can, and when it does, if it does, you have nothing to say, and obviously you aren't held accountable for that. Because what people like to do is, oh, this hasn't happened in the last week, it hasn't happened in the last year, it's over, it's never going to happen. It's like, really? You don't think that there's more time? Is the world ending today? Or if the world is ending today, then I understand that concept. I understand the thought process behind it. Hey, it's just not going to happen. You're right. Everything's going to nothing. Everything's going to explode. That's just how that goes, right? But if there's still a tomorrow, there's still a possible chance to happen tomorrow. If there's still a next month, there's a possible chance to happen next month. If there's still a next year, there's a possible chance to happen next year. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. But I'm going to get out of here. and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.